May I request the presence of Mr. Kannan P., the Chief Operating Officer. Mr. Kannan has over 2 decades of extensive professional experience in film acquisition, theatrical exhibition, film production, and theatrical operations in the vibrant Indian market and internationally. Throughout his career, he has successfully managed and facilitated the exhibition business of a diverse portfolio encompassing more than 1,000 films. His tenure as the programming and film acquisition head at Zee Tamil, his leadership roles overseeing theatrical distribution and theatrical programming at Jazz Cinemas, and serving as the Chief Operating Officer at Leica Productions stands as testaments to his expertise and accomplishments in the film industries. மீண்டும் ஒருமுறை நாம் எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து திரு கண்ணன் அவர்களை அன்போடு மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறோம். Please, sir.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த புத்தக வெளியீட்டு விழாவை சிறப்பிக்க வந்த சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்கள் மற்றும் மீடியா நண்பர்களுக்கு நான் நன்றியை தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறேன். ஒரு நல்ல கதை, அதுக்கேற்ற திரைக்கதை இருந்தால் மட்டும்தான் ஒரு சினிமா பிளாக் பஸ்டர் ஆக முடியும்னு நம்பிக்கையோட இன்னைக்கு சிஸ்டி பப்ளிஷர்ஸ் ரெடி டு ஷூட் ஹிடன் அஜெண்டாஸுங்கிற ஒரு புத்தகத்தை இங்கே ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இது எழுத்தாளர்களுக்கும் ரைட்டர்ஸ், ஸ்க்ரீன் ரைட்டர்ஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே இன்றைக்கி இது மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு ஊக்குவிக்கக்கூடிய விஷயம். ஸோ அனார் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் அண்ட் சிஸ்டி பப்ளிஷர்ஸ் யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ், ரைட்டர்ஸ், ஸ்க்ரீன் ரைட்டர்ஸை வரவேற்க காத்துட்ருக்கு. தென் இந்த இடத்துல நான் ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் ஷேர் பண்ண விரும்புகிறேன். கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 15 இயர்ஸாக நான் அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்கேன். இன்றைக்கி தமிழ் சினிமாவோட ஹிட் ரேஷியோ அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா 7 to 8% தான் ஹிட் ரேஷியோ. அதாவது ஒரு 200 படம், 225 படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆனால் 15-16 படம் தான் பிளாக் பஸ்டர் ஃபிலிம்ஸ். இதோட முதல் காரணம் என்ன? நீங்கள் உள்ளே போய் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கதை கரெக்டாக இருக்கணும், அதுக்கேற்ற திரைக்கதை கரெக்டாக இருக்கணும். இது ரெண்டும் வீக்காக இருக்கும்போது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக அந்த படம் ஆவரேஜ் அண்ட் பிலோ ஆவரேஜ் ஆகுது. இது என் மனசுக்குள்ளே இருந்தது. இன்னைக்கு சிவா சார் வந்திருக்காரு, தனவிஜயன் சார் வந்திருக்காங்க. அதாவது ப்ரொடியூசர் கவுன்சிலில் இன்னைக்கு ஒரு டீம் மாதிரி போட்டு ஃபார் ஸ்டோரிஸ் அட்லீஸ்ட், ஏன்னா நிறைய நியூ ப்ரொடியூசர்ஸ் வராங்க. அவங்களுக்கு அட்லீஸ்ட் அந்த கதைகளை மட்டும் அவங்க கரெக்ட் பண்ணி அவங்கள கைட் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா இந்த 7 to 8ங்கிறது ஒரு 20% ஆகிறதுக்கான சான்ஸ் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா பிகாஸ் இன்றைக்கி ப்ரொடியூசர்கள்ட்ட இருக்க எல்லா வருத்தமே என்னென்னா, ஓடிடி விற்க மாட்டேங்குது, சேட்டலைட் போலங்குது, தியேட்டர் போட்டுவேன். இதுக்கு முக்கிய காரணம் மெயின் கதை. இதில் இந்த இடத்த நீங்கள் கரெக்ட் பண்ணால் தான் நீங்கள் மற்ற இடத்துலையே பண்ண முடியும். ஏன்னா பிகாஸ் யாரையும் ப்ளேம் பண்ணியே யூஸ் இல்லை. இன்னொன்று என்னென்னா, ஒரு வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு படத்துக்கு 3 கோடின்னு எடுத்துங்க, 3 crores எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா 300 crores, 100 படம், குறைஞ்சது 100 படம் பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ண முடியாமல் இருக்குது. ஸோ 300 crores தமிழ் சினிமாவில் இன்னைக்கு வேஸ்ட் ஆகுது. இது யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. ஏன்னா நிறைய புது புது தயாரிப்பாளர்கள் வராங்க. அவங்கவுங்க 3 கோடி, 4 கோடி, 5 கோடிக்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போயிடுறாங்க. பட் உள்ளே இந்த பிஸ்னஸ் 300 கோடியிலேருந்து 400 கோடி தமிழ்நாட்டில் வேஸ்ட் ஆகுது. ஸோ சிவா சார், தனவிஜயன் சார், நீங்கள்லாம் சேர்ந்து ப்ரொடியூசர் கவுன்சிலில் கதைக்குன்னு ஒரு டீம் போட்டு அட்லீஸ்ட் மற்றதெல்லாம் ஓகே, கதைக்காவது இதுக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்து பண்ணிங்கன்னா அந்த 400 கோடிங்கிறது ஒரு 200 கோடி மிச்சம் பண்ணலாம், 300 கோடி மிச்சம் ஆகும். ஏன்னா எல்லோரும் இன்னைக்கு நிறையா புது ப்ரொடியூசருக்கு என் படம் விற்க மாட்டேங்குது இது மாதிரி ஒரு இது பேசிக் நம்ம இந்த விஷயத்தை கொஞ்சம் பண்ணி கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா பெட்டராக இருக்கும். தென் மறுபடியும் வந்திருக்க அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி சொல்லி இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை தொகுத்து வழங்க ஆண்டலியா ரொம்ப நன்றி. இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை எல்லா அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட்ஸும் பண்ண யுவராஜ் அண்ட் டீம் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி. ப்ரெஸ் பீப்புள், நீங்கள் நல்ல விஷயங்களை கொண்டு போங்க. ஏன்னா பிகாஸ் இது இந்த 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 300-400 கோடி யாருக்குமே தெரியாது. ஆனால் இந்த ப்ரொடியூசருக்கு வந்து பெயின் ஜாஸ்தியாக இருக்குது. அது என்னென்னா பேசிக் கதை. ஸோ இந்த எழுத்தாளர்கள்லாம் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு நிறைய நல்ல விஷயங்கள்லாம், நிறைய யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் வரட்டும், நம்ம நிறைய சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுவோம். நம்ம அட்லீஸ்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு இது ஒரு நல்ல விஷயமா இருக்கும் செய்கிறதுக்கு. தேங்க்யூ, வணக்கம்.
Mr. Prem Kumar Menon, please, sir.
Thank you, Natalia, for the kind words. A very good evening to one and all here, ladies and gentlemen. It's on behalf of Shrishti Publishers and Anar Creations. It's my pleasure to welcome you all this evening. We have our chief guest here, Mr. Shashi Kumar. Welcome, sir. Mr. Anthony Lobo, the special guest of the evening, the Consul General for Spain. We have Mr. Ram Kumar Ganeshan of Shivaji Productions, Mr. Balaji Kumar, and we have Balaji Murthy, the president of Ramco. We have director Priya. Welcome, Priya. I hope if I missed out anybody, please forgive me. I have Mr. Banu Chanda, actor Banu Chanda here. Welcome, Banu. And ladies and gentlemen, we have assembled here for the launch of our book, Hidden Agendas. Hidden Agendas is the first book of the part of the True Vision series. Totally, there'll be 6 books in all. And what's the beauty about this book is that each book will contain 4 short stories, and each short story is written in a screenplay format, which I feel it's a big boon for directors as well as producers. So these stories can be made in any languages, and it can be tailor-made to suit the needs of that particular region. So that way, this book is, I think it's a big boon for the thing. It's dedicated to the film industry. Now, how this book came about being was that when Anar Creations was when we started Anar Creations, we scouted for stories, and we got a lot of stories, good stories, but somehow there was the connect was not there to make it a good film, nor for an OTT platform. That's when we decided that we have so much of talent within, and we decided that we will write our own stories. And Ajit and Anil got into the act, and here we are with the first book. As far as Anar is concerned, we will produce some of these stories, and we will co-produce some of these stories. And we are more than happy to share these stories with the rest of the stories with other producers or directors who like these stories. And I'm sure Shrishti Publishers, unless they would have seen value in these stories, they would not have come forward to publish all the 6 books. So to tell you more about these books and the stories and the logic and the way forward, I'll leave it to the authors. So once again, welcome to one and all. Have a pleasant evening, and I do really hope that you enjoy reading our stories. Thank you very much.
Up next, may I request the presence of Mr. Anthony Lobo, the Consul of Spain and Head of Consulate in Chennai. He pursued his engineering from the College of Engineering, Guindy, and alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. The former director for international operations of Messrs. Ashok Leyland Limited. He also serves as the chairman of AMLO Advisory Private Limited, an international advisory firm serving international organizations and large corporates. Please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Anthony Lobo.
Mr. Sashi Kumar, Chairman, Asian School of Journalism, esteemed authors Ajit Menon and Anil Verma, distinguished guests, book enthusiasts, and I thank my dear friend Mr. Prem Menon from Anna's Entertainment and Shruti Publishers for inviting me today. It is an honor to be a part of this momentous occasion celebrating the release of Hidden Agendas, the first installment of the groundbreaking True Vision series. Ajit and Anil, by creating shoot-ready stories, you are bridging the gap between literature and filmmaking, providing the industry with a treasure trove of adaptable screenplays. Your collaboration brings together the best of both worlds. Ajit's ranking among India's top 10 inspiring writers, and Anil's expertise as a renowned lyricist and storyteller. To both of you, I offer my heartfelt appreciation. As you may be aware, I'm here also as the consul for Spain in Chennai. So I thought I should speak something about Spain and the film industry connected with these books, which will become films later. Many of you might have seen Spanish films, which have now increased popularity on OTT. And I could, not that I'm representing Spain, but the films are excellent. I would suggest you all have a look at it. Some of them are really good. And the difference is it's not the general type what you see in Hollywood. It is something out of the box thinking. You'll never know what is happening in the film unless you go through it in detail. And I'm sure Ajit and this Hidden Agendas, the story which they say is something it'll help the Spanish film industry. And if it's converted into Spanish, which you should do it because that's the second most spoken language in the world, you can not only sell it to Spain as well as all of South America, Venezuela, Colombia, everybody will go in for this. So on that front, I thought it'll help Hidden Agendas for the series, which I'm sure we can take it forward. You all can meet me and we'll get some of the directors. We're having next month, I think, a Spanish Film Festival organized by Mr. Shanmugam. I think he's here. And maybe some of the directors will come down and we can get to meet them. We have it every year. And we can move this forward. Ajit, you can do that. In conclusion, I congratulate Ajit Menon and Anil Verma on this remarkable achievement. Hidden Agenda is not just a book, it's a harbinger of a new era in Indian storytelling. Please join me in applauding the authors and their groundbreaking work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony Lobo. Thank you, sir, once again. Up next, may I request the presence of Mr. Mohanlal Menon, a life coach and mentor for senior leaders who has over 2 decades of experience grooming CXOs in DuPont, Dell, ABC, and many other MNCs. As an organization builder, he helped Eastern Spices, a South Indian company with pan-India ambitions, grow from a small South Indian-based company of rupees 60 crore into a national behemoth of rupees 1,000 crores. He later facilitated its acquisition by a Swiss spice brand. Mr. Mohan is also the co founder of CloudDesk and is invested in building successful startups such as Tags and Perfectly, a Robert L. Dilworth Award winner at the Global Forum for Action Learning. Mr. Mohan co produced blockbuster films like Kerala Cafe and Bangalore Days. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Mohanlal Menon, everybody. Please, sir.
um, Distinguished chief guests, respected media friends, and everyone who have come today evening to grace this occasion, welcome. um, I know Ajit, for more than two decades. Uh, his storytelling part of his life is something which I've got to know in close quarters, recently. Uh, when when I started dipping my hands into making movies, starting with Kerala Cafe in 2007, the basis with which I looked at the movies was the storyline, was the story that drove the movie forward. Kerala Cafe, was regarded as experimental in 2007. It is a portmanteau of 10 stories, directed by the top 10 directors in Malayalam. Not many people were willing to give the movie a chance. But what struck me was the common theme in the 10 stories, which is the journey of life. And I decided to be a part of that project because it sort of appealed to me at a very deep level. The movie was very successful. It ran for 3 weeks in the theaters, which is generally regarded as success in movie terms. It then found life in YouTube, in Amrita TV, which had bought the satellite rights for it. And today, Kerala Cafe is regarded as a cult classic. Many people talk about Kerala Cafe. Many young directors say that Kerala Cafe has been a breakthrough movie for them, for them to start their careers, etc. And I feel very proud of it. My latest project is a Kannada movie called Venkia, and I'm very pleased to share with all of you that it has been selected for the Indian Panorama section of IFFI 2024. In fact, the global premiere of this movie is on Monday evening 4:30 in Panjim, and out of 365 movies that were selected for the Indian Panorama section, this is one of the 25 movies. In this list of 25, I think we have got other movies like Lapata Ladies, you have got Manjumal Boys from Malayalam, you have got Kalki from Telugu, etc. So it's again, when this story came to me, which is Venkia, the Kannada movie, a young director, Sagar Puranik, along with Pavan Vadiyar, who is one of the most iconic directors in Kannada movies. Again, what struck me was the story, and that story appealed to me. So that will then talk about the gap between 2007 and 2024, in terms of how I've been involved in the on the movie space. And the point I'm trying to make, in this, August, occasion, in which, we have got those beautiful stories that Ajit and Anil, has, written. The basis for any movie, I feel, has to be the story. It has to, that is the soul of the, movie. And at least for me personally, the way I would go about participating in movies would be if the story appeals to me, in terms of my own, sensibilities. And what Ajit and Anil have done, right from even the first set of books, the Panther series, and now of course, Hidden Agenda is this laser focus, that they have on stories that touch each of us. And I feel that translates well into the visual, medium. And I feel, that if you look at something like hidden agendas, I can actually see how well it is going to come out when that when that transformation happens and when it becomes something that we can see on the screen. I am incredibly happy that Ajit and Anil have made have allowed me to be a part of this this journey. It fills me with pride that I've got access to their huge brains that is churning out lovely stuff like this. I think that this is the beginning of something which is going to touch all of us as we go forward. Best of luck, Ajit, and best of luck, Anil. And well, that's it from my side. Yeah, so I'm a part of ANAR, and I thank all of you for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for, it is the right time for us to call upon the authors of the Hidden Agendas. Put your hands together for Mr. Ajit Menon and Mr. Anil Verma, everybody. So, a little intro about them before we actually get them on stage. Mr. Ajit Menon was a CXO in over 5 industries before he became an author. Ajit is also a philanthropist and a nation builder and was recently listed in the National Icon list with several literary awards. Ajit Menon's writing prowess has been acknowledged, with him being rated among the top 5 inspiring writers of 2024, and that deserves a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And the first edition of his best selling series, The Panther's Ghosts, published by Bloomsbury India, being rated as one of the top 15 must read books in India. Currently, Ajit Menon holds the influential position of Special Advisor to the Governor of West Bengal. In this role, he is dedicated to his vision of making India the literary hub of the world. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ajit Menon, everybody. Up next, our author, Anil Verma. Mr. Anil has been an advertising professional for 3 decades and has held strategic positions in TBWA, Red Diffusion, Contract, Ogilvy, and Mudra, delivering award winning TV commercials, jingles, and print ads. Anil's success extends beyond the advertising industry. He is a renowned lyricist and screenwriter with a notable debut in Bollywood as a lyricist for Ajay Devgan's blockbuster films Tanhaji, The Unsung Warrior, The Big Bull, and Budge. His achievements in Bollywood are truly inspiring. Please put your hands together for Mr. Anil Verma, everybody. All his songs have become super hits, and he was awarded the Emerging Lyricist of 2023, the title. Anil co authored The Puppeteer, a bestseller that became #1 in the political thriller category. He is now busy with his second book and his work in parallel on the screenplay of 3 upcoming films. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Give a thunderous round of applause for the 2 authors out today for the Hidden Agendas, Mr. Ajit Menon and Mr. Anil Verma, everybody. Can we have you on stage to please share a few words? Thank you.
We are here to give the long and short of the story. Yeah, Shashi Kumar sir, it's an honor to have you here. It's just like, and I'm really grateful, actually, all of us, to have you here launching our book. Mr. Lobo, thank you for taking out the time and being here for us. And to all the important people who are here, to us, all of you are extremely, extremely important because you have taken out the times, and come here to grace this occasion. We are extremely, extremely grateful for this, for your presence here. We write that's what we do. That's our passion. There's never a day that goes by as like, where we are not thinking of stories. Anything happens, by the time we leave this room and we go back and we're sitting, we'll have thought of another new story, it's like, based on what has happened here. That's the adrenaline rush that we get every time we sit together. While we have written books, which thankfully, it's like, and with everybody's blessings has done well so far. Our larger intention was to somehow, as Nabita said, and Nat said, sorry, that we want to do something larger, as is like instance for the nation. We feel, 10,000-year-old tradition, culture, 1.4 billion people. We feel India should be the literary hub of the world. Here is where all the stories are, and here is where, as is like in the stories, should originate from. And we felt that, if a small country like Iceland can have almost 1 in every 10 people as authors and writers, imagine it's like, in India, where there are so many more writers budding, as is like, and coming up in this nation. Towards that, we started something called as the Right Street Project, wherein we are now encouraging young writers to come up with their stories. We reward them, we recognize them, and we help them publish their books. And that is our contribution to the literary world. This Hidden Agendas is the first volume. As so many of them have said, I don't want to repeat it again and again. But the intent behind this was to create a set of stories, it's like, for the Indian film industry, which is basically Indian, based on, inspired by real events that are happening. Each story is from a different state, and each volume is a different genre. The first one, which is Hidden Agendas, is the thriller genre. We'll come up with romance, with adventure, with drama, with spy, espionage, everything, and create sort of an archive, as is like instance of stories, which will be available for everyone to access. That is the intent behind it. They say that if the intent is noble, the experience is divine. We just hope it does work out that way. As far as the filmmaking is concerned, we are novices. It's like we just entered into it. We started a company called as Anar Entertainment, and thanks to people like Prem, Mohan, Anil, we are venturing into this, and but we need a lot of help. We need partners. We need people who will help us join. Luckily for us, Trilok Mehrotra, as we call him very fondly as Trix, his movie production house, Pinnacle Movies, has joined with us in creating this. We just hope, as it's like, in this journey, we'll have everyone's blessings, and we will carry forward this, ambition or this goal that we have going forward. I think I'll leave Anil to come up with his
In fact, I will say
version of
only a few words. So I think Ajit has not mentioned yet that his father was a spy, right? That's a fact. So what he has made me in past 4 years is a writer as well as a spy. So what we do, we actually spy in your life. And that's the reason we have loads of content. Right now, if we spend time with you, we are able to come up with 50 stories in the next 15 minutes. So the reason we continue writing every moment is that we have 4 hands. We need 10 more hands, in fact. So that's our passion. That's what we like to do. And the whole idea what he talked about is doing for this community of, making loads of stories for people to make into cinemas. We are just helping a cause. We're helping directors, producers, and whoever to pick up the best stories and make it into stories, into films. That's what our intent is. And I think that's good enough. Thank you so much for to all of
Actually,
you.
in fact, one question which somebody, a lot of them asked me was, they said, you're from Gurgaon, he's from Mumbai. Why you're launching
I think everybody asked.
why are you launching the book here? And I'm very proud to say a language which is the first in the world, the oldest language, and a state, as it's like, which oozes literature, literary personalities, prose, poetry, drama. What could be a better place for launching something like this? So actually, we are honored to be here, and we are grateful that we have been called here, and we have been given this opportunity. Nowhere else would we have done justice to this particular book than this particular state. So thank you. Humbly grateful to all of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. honestly, the appreciation for the content is so much better in this region than any other place. 100%. Like in past 5 years, I've consumed so much of Malayalam cinema, Tamil cinema. It's very inspiring, and I feel jealous sometimes, honestly speaking. So, God bless us. Thank you so much.
The book release, the official launch of the book. To do the honors, may I now request on stage journalist, filmmaker, and media entrepreneur Mr. Sashi Kumar, who was the founder of Asianet and subsequently of the Asian College of Journalism, which he chairs. He is also the co founder and chairman of the digital media startup Asiaville Interactive. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me, put your hands together, and give a big round of applause for Mr. Shashi Kumar. Can we have you on stage, sir, please? May I now request on stage the presence of both our authors, Mr. Ajit Menon and Mr. Anil Verma, to kindly come forward and hand over the book to Mr. Shashi Kumar. Can we have you to the center, please? All three of you to the center. And can we have the books, please? Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the official book launch of the True Vision Series Volume 1, Hidden Agendas by Mr. Ajit and Mr. Anil. Everybody, please put your hands together. Thank you very, very much. And Sashi Kumar, sir, can we have a few words from you, please?
Thank you. I was wondering whether I should buy the book. I'm glad I didn't. I got it free. Thank you very much. I did actually go through the book because Prem had sent me a PDF copy. And of course, I'm not going to be a spoiler and tell you what it's all about, but you've got a sense of the book. This is indeed, I think, a moment of a game-changing moment, if you like, and ideatically, shall we say, a breakthrough that's taking place, because we know that the biggest paucity in the showbiz, particularly when it's become so democratized and pluralized, shall we say, with so many avenues of exhibition, OTT platforms now in addition to theatrical exhibition, and multiple languages. You do a film in one language, it's seen in 5, 6, 7 Indian languages, and then, as Mr. Lobo said, perhaps in Spanish and in other languages. And there's a kind of fluorescence of ideas. You see young people making films, unknown people coming and making a mark with their debut film. Manjumal Boys is a great example. Vare, of course, not unknown, but a great example. I just saw Kishkinda the other day. Examples of films which are made spending, say, 7 crores, 8 crores, 10 crores, and go on to make 75 crores, 80 crores, 60 crores. It's a game-changing kind of situation. And what, from my experience, my startup Asia will be also pitching for stories. We're doing a couple of them now, one for Disney and one for Sony, a series. It's a story. It's a pitching the story and getting it going. That is the first hurdle. And this, I think, is in that sense an ideatic breakthrough. There's no doubt about it. And from the talent that's exhibited in this book, I don't know Anil or either Ajit before this. I can see that it's a great combination. You have Anil and Ajit and Anar. It has to be a AAA. There's no doubt about it. And that's what is happening. My background is primarily as a media person. So journalism, as you know, is about storytelling. And I always wondered why, because in journalism, you're supposed to stick to the facts. And story we generally think is fiction. But now I can see the reason. There's a confluence taking place. If you look at many of these films, and Anil, for instance, was talking about why they came to Chennai and did this, because it's true that a lot of the stories, a lot of the ideas are going from here now. Malayalam industry is known across India today as never before, really, because also because of the iconic filmmakers and what they did, but also equally because of the young talent, the new blood, the fresh ideas, and the quick turnaround, and the number of films that are being turned out, and each is vying with the other for honors. When I look at OTT platforms, I'm just astounded by the brilliance of these young minds, including, of course, our two authors today. So I think it's a very, very important occasion, and this is going to be a game changer. So when Prem told me about it, it struck me because you have to, as you know, when you go out there, you have to do a pitch and you have to do a pitch deck, and that's where you don't know what to do because you don't really have a story. You're trying to make it all up, but it requires creativity. It requires, you have to have a different kind of story because there's so much of it there. You can't have more and more of the same. And this takes some doing, and I'm so happy that this is an enterprise. And I can see it's normally people, you tend to be possessive about this. In fact, I'm still a little worried, or shall we say, how open-ended this is, how open they are. They're talking about saying, we'll make this film, or anybody who wants to make a film with this, make it. And if there's someone here who can write, please come to us. We will help you to publish your book. That's the way it is. That's the way, creativity opens up. That's the way newer ideas come. That's the way the level of storytelling, gets better and better. And so, all power to your writing fingers. Normally, as a person who has a drink in the evenings, I'm fond of saying all power to your elbow because you keep exercising that the most. But in this case, all power to your writing, hand or your keying in hand. And I'm sure that this will go on. And this will be a success story. I have no doubt about this. This is going to make a difference. And I'm very happy that I'm here associated with this. I've been in the media for about several decades, 30, 35 years. Prem is a very old friend, which is why I suppose that he called me here. And I'm delighted to be in the company of some of the names who were mentioned here, including the legendary Shivaji Ganeshan's son, Ramu Ganeshan, who represented South Indian cinema so iconically and at its best for several decades. So this is indeed a auspicious, a very, very important, creatively charged moment, and all the very, very best to our young writers and to all the others here who I'm going to be part of this team. And I envy the producers out there who are going to find it difficult to choose stories from for a change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shashi Kumar sir, once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to all of you gathered here, this is the moment for you to ask your questions. We're going to have 5 minutes of Q&A with the authors. So may I request the authors to kindly come forward. And for those of you who've got questions, this is your moment to shoot them out. We would be taking up at the max of 5 questions. So please do see that you fall into the 5.
Hi guys, Ram Kumar here. You told me this is an adventure thriller genre, your first book. So I'm sure you're going through different genres, and I just heard you told me you worked on Tanaji, which is a good film. I like that film. So I hope there's a history genre also coming up.
Yes. Yes. What you said is your question. The answer to the question, yes, we will be coming up with it.
Yep.
Totally 6 volumes, 6 genres. One is epic historical volume. It's like, for that, we need to do a lot more research. This is like, so we are taking that slightly as like as the 3rd or 4th volume, because that's something as like, where we need to spend intricately long period of time, as it's like, to get the stories right. As you know, one small mistake is like in the research or in the data that's presented is going to create a lot of issues for us.
But it'll be historical fiction or pure history?
No, actually, what we'll try and do is we will write it in a manner as it's like, see, one thing is that we are trying to keep the audience attention. The more it has to have history, it has to have the essence of the history and, the facts and everything, but we would like to keep it as crisp as possible. A shorter version is like, where you reach the essence of it quickly rather than make it boring and long, as it's like, it ending up more like a documentary. So we'll keep that in mind. As it's like, when you do it, there'll be not too much of any fictional part of it, but we'll dramatize it as it's like, when you are writing the, let's say, the fight scenes or the action scenes or the other scenes which is there, we'll create a lot of dramatization of the whole issue.
Very happy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
In fact, we are working on a book which is interesting blend of history and geopolitics as of now. So hopefully maybe in next 1 year we will have something ready. Yes, ma'am.
You said that.
Not 100, 200.
No, I said, like, the number was dramatized, actually. But yes, it's like, for us, every person we meet, we try our level best to create. So we observe the person, and we take care not to, stare at the person, but we observe the person to an extent. It's like, where we say, like, there's something unique about this person. It can come as a character in the next book or whatever it is. And like, for example, just now when we were talking, one minute. There's one conversation that happened was where I think Balaji mentioned that I can't read Tamil, but I can speak and I can understand Tamil. And my writer is like, he writes in Tamil only. So the moment he said that, we said, then how do you communicate? So he said that, I explain to him and then he tells me, and then he writes in Tamil, I speak in English. So I said, here is a story. I said, like, this can be another story because this is something which is unique. How do they do it? So then we end up doing a little bit of research, finding out, are these things happening? Who are these people? Go talk to them. So that's what we meant by saying that, every person that we meet is that there is a story behind it, and then we try and do.
So you need only 5 minutes of interaction and the story is in your head.
About, something like that. Okay, once.
Great.
So I'll tell you something very interesting. This happened last Tuesday. Yeah, I was in Bhopal with my in-laws. My father-in-law is about 86. He drives a car with the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. I said, let me drive. I'll go faster. So I drove around, went to the market, came back home, and we were about to hit the lift. And I saw a young guy about 35, 36 coming out of the lift. And you know what he's told me? So my in-laws stay alone. So he said, he's a youngster. He's very useful to me. I said, why? He said, if something happens to me, you guys live in Bombay. Who will lift me from second floor to first floor? Now there was a story. I called Ajit. I was working on a screenplay. I said, chuck this screenplay for 1 week. Let's work on the story. It's been a little more than a week. The story is ready. The framework is ready. It's a beautiful stuff. So,
It's fantastic.
so now another thing, for example, I will tell it. Now I will speak. So his father actually was a spy who was in RAW and was based in Pakistan for almost 5 years, I guess, working in a spice market, passing on information from Pakistan to India. He is 97, by the way. He lives in Pune. So he had gone to Pune last month, and he said, I was offering a drink to my father, and my father said, so he asked him a question. Who was the friend? Your father's friend. So he said, where is Tiwari? Tiwari was one guy who was stuck in Pakistan. So he said, Tiwari to mar gaya hoga. He said, who said he's dead? Still alive. He thinks his father pretends as if he's got dementia, but he's still an active spy.
Wow.
So we turned around the entire plot, and no, I think I should not disclose much.
No, actually, the crux was that, the question was, I asked him, what happened to your friend? I said, by now he must be dead. So he looked at me as just like, he's an old man. And every evening he wants his drink and he's sitting there. When I'm there, I'm the bartender. I have to fix him. So he was sipping it and then he suddenly put this thing down and he says, who said he's dead? So the way he said it, I was just like, I was shaken. And then I turned around and asked him, out of the blue, I asked him this question. I said, if ever you get a chance to go back, and if you're 35 years old or 30 years old, will you still go back to Raw and be a spy? So he was silent for a little while, then suddenly looked at me and he said, who says I'm out of Raw? Now, that shook me, actually, the way he looked and he said it.
I got a photo also, by the way. He sent me
Correct. And the moment he said it, I clicked his picture of him and I sent it to him and I said, I think we got a story for our next book. And I said, imagine as like, a 97-year-old person, as like, still working and still doing that. So that's what I meant by
So
saying
that
it.
means we have to be very careful of what we tell you. So you'll make a story out of it. But hats off to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Congratulations. And
Thank you.
no, I wanted to ask you, two writers, two thinkers, how does the magic happen and you come up with one book?
It starts with a lot of fights.
No, I want an elaborate answer, not a brief answer.
No, so basically it's, how should I put it? It's not that we come together and sit down and think of one particular story. As we travel through our lives, as it's like, we see various things, we come up with stories of our own or whatever, and then we make sure that we are meeting regularly, we sit down, I narrate whatever stories are in my mind to him, he narrates his part or whatever, and then from there we filter it and we say, I think we should work on these top 4-5 stories. And then it's called, it's like, a brainstorming session, we name it brainstorming session, wherein either it's in Mumbai or it's in Gurgaon in my place. We do it at home, preferably because then the wives can cook and feed us. And we brainstorm and then we put a wireframe together saying that this should, how the story should be. It's just like, and then we start saying that now let's see if, and most of the cases, like, we find that many of these things which we are seeing is all real stuff which is there. So then the research starts. We start going as like, and finding out more about that incident and about that instance and everything. And then slowly we start weaving it together. There are times as like, when he has a point of view, I have a point of view. He being in, closely related to Bollywood and everything, he brings the cinematic, visual part of it into it. I tend to, being a writer, I tend to, stick to a lot of facts into it. Then we have a share of, arguments and everything. A couple of days of not talking to each other. Then we come back again. It's just like
The most difficult part is he's a morning person, I'm a night person. So that's a massive conflict we have.
That's the longer answer to that short question of yours.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's big blessing.
Hello, sir. I'm Sabrinathan from MCC, sir.
Yes.
So I just want to know about so as young writers, so we are all from like MCC. So I started like blogging, so I'm not yet to writing. So what are the tips and tricks for the young writers as well? So we can also promote our books, so publishing and as well as, so what you motivate like youngsters to do, like this hidden agenda.
So I don't know what type of books you write, but I can tell you how I did it. My first rule was, we will write stories which we like writing. Just because thriller works or romance works, that's the new thing, fad. So we also start writing. We don't. So we will write stories which we feel genuinely passionate about and which comes from within. That is number one. Two, we feel if you want to be a good writer, write every single day. Correct. When I started, I was working, he was working. When we started writing, And then one fine day, we looked at each other and we said that if this is the passion and this is what we want to do, then we can't be riding in one bus and trying to do something else. So we quit our jobs. I don't think it's just like, anybody's become rich writing books. But if you're really, really passionate about it, find one source wherein it is financial stability, I'm being very honest. But at the same time, you should write every single day and write anything, but write. And then store it, keep it, so that's later, as like instance, when you put it all together, I said, you'll suddenly realize, oh my God, I can really write. The story is weaving through it or whatever. Then, of course, you have people like us who will help you. Pick up the phone, give a call. It's like, I will leave my number here, both of us. We'll help you get your story edited, published, or whatever it is, because that's what our ambition is. So don't worry about it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kannan. மீண்டும் ஒருமுறை அனார் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் மற்றும் சிருஷ்டி பப்ளிகேஷன் சார்பாக எங்கள் அழைப்பை ஏற்று இங்கு வந்த அனைவருக்கும் எங்களுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். ஊடகங்களுக்கும் பத்திரிகையாளர் நண்பர்களுக்கும் எங்களுடைய சிறப்பான நன்றிகள். So once again, a very big thank you to each and every one of you for gracing the official launch of the Hidden Agendas. Everybody put your hands together one more time for the two authors, Mr. Ajit and Mr. Anil. And to everybody who's worked behind the scenes, thank you very, very much. Until we see you again at another exciting event, thank you and God bless all of us. Signing off, MC Natalia Denise. Good night and God bless all of us. Thank you, everybody.